Okay, hi. Welcome. Sorry about the camera quality. I got a new webcam and I'm still trying to figure it out. I want to say it's one of two things, lighting issue and software issue. The software that comes with my computer is it's not picking up very good. I've tried other softwares where the camera looks nicer, but I can't get them to record. And so I'm just kind of trying to figure that out along with lighting. There's a lot of light on this side because I have the window here, and even though the blinds are closed, there's still a lot of light coming in that the camera's detecting. So still working on that. So sorry for the camera quality being poor yet again. And I just want to apologize for the last video that I uploaded last week. I started using a camera to film, but it's a camera from college, so I didn't really remember how to use it. And I assume that just because it's old, it didn't have very good quality, but I've figured out how to fix that and film with HD quality. So this video will be a lot better, and I will refilm the last one because I just feel like you guys deserve better, and the quality on it was just really poor. I think it was 680p, like not even HD level. So I finally got this camera to record on HD. So I think I'm going to re-record that at some point. I'm not sure when though. But again, I apologize. Terrible quality, but we are learning. This is a learning experience, and thank you for learning with me. But today's video is going to be another how-to. I did get some questions on how I make my foil prints. So I've got one of them right here. Shine. I will be selling these on my Etsy page, so I'll have that linked below. But this is from my Shadow Goddess line, and so if you want to stay updated on that, I would subscribe to this channel and go check out my TikTok, because that's where I upload all my updates. There's going to be 42 goddesses. I'm really excited for this project because they are going into all one big thing, but I haven't announced what that thing is yet. But I'm just really excited because I only have 15 more of them to go, and there's going to be 42 in total, so I am so close. I am almost there with the finished project. I will tell you though, hopefully we'll have gold foil like these prints. So yeah, I'm super excited. So those will be on my Etsy shop, and I will be showing you how I made these and talking a little bit about products that I used and how I do it. The laminator that I'm using, I would not recommend. I don't think that it gets hot enough for the foil, so I do have to put it through quite a few times, like 6 or 7 times. I would recommend the Amazon Basics laminator because that's the one I've been seeing people use a lot, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be purchasing that one soon so that I don't have to cycle through it so many times. The only good thing about the laminator that I purchased was that it comes with a straight edge cutter and a edge rounder, so you can round the edges on it. And then I will have all that linked down below as well. I'll do another kit so that you guys can have everything in one spot. Again, my Amazon links are Amazon affiliate because I do purchase a lot of things for my business through Amazon. It's just been a lot easier because everything comes straight to my door, especially with the events of this last year. It's been really hard to find business supplies going out because everyone is working from home, and so the business stuff sold out really quickly, especially in my area. So Amazon has been a really big help with that. So I just want to thank you guys in advance because every click helps this grow. It helps this channel grow, and I'm just excited to show you a little bit more stuff about how I run my business and maybe do some artwork too. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe wherever it's down there. Wherever they put it, it's down there, so that we can help this community grow. And then if you have any questions or you just want to say hello, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. But if you want to learn how to make these foil prints, then go ahead and stay tuned because that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so I'm showing you here on my iPad. I duplicate the file, so that's the original one. This is my duplicate. And then I'm going to go ahead and open this. You see that I have the cutouts for the gold, and then we're going to select it for the cutouts for the white. And you're going to want to save these as a PNG separately because you want to print only the line art. You don't want to print anything on the background. And since we're doing 2 different foil colors, you're going to need 2 different files. So one for the white foil and then the other one for the gold foil. And then you can see here that I put them on my computer. This one is going to be for the white, and this one is going to be for the gold. Now I do want to let you know that making these black as you can on the files will help a lot, because it deposits more of the toner on the paper so the foil can adhere to it easier. This isn't something that was shared with me, so I want to make sure that you guys get that information, because it does help a lot. It makes a really big impact. So now here I pulled it into Photoshop, and this just helps with formatting, because if I use the files that I got straight from Procreate, they aren't going to be the right size and they're not going to line up either. So I moved those files here into Photoshop, and then we're just going to line them up on 2 different layers. So I have the white on one layer and the gold on another one. Okay. So I just moved it around here to try and figure it out. Since I put this in an 8.5 by 11 file, Photoshop went ahead and put in guidelines for me, so that's kind of what I'm using here to make sure I get these lined up correctly. And then once you get those in a place where you like it, then you're just going to go ahead and save this as a Photoshop file so you can refer to it better. Now you have 2 options here. You can either go ahead and just print it straight out of Photoshop, but make sure that you're only printing it with 1 layer visible, so you're printing the white and the gold separately. Or you can export that, which I will show you here. Okay, so here I'm exporting them separately. So if you're going to print straight out of Photoshop, this is what it needs to look like. Because you can't print them together, otherwise you can't do the separate foil colors, so it's just going to be one. So here we have the gold. I am exporting this. Make sure it's the right paper size. So mine is just your standard printer paper. That's 8.5 by 11. We got to make sure that there is no borders, and we need to have it in a high quality print as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that here. And then make sure you name it to where you can find it. Okay, and now we're going to do the white, the same thing. We're going to go ahead and export it, or you can print it straight from Photoshop. I prefer to export. Check all the settings on this one too. Make sure it has the right paper, high quality, and no borders, because we want these to line up together, so we need to save them as the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open those up here so you can kind of see the difference between them. Because what happens with Procreate is it just saves it based on the image, not on the actual file size that you have. So if you have the white background here, then the gold at the top is going to be smaller than the white, because the white has more behind it. And you can see that already. So on the left hand side, you can see that they are the same size, the dragon in the middle here. But on the right hand side, the top, the gold, is actually smaller than the bottom, and that's because of that file size. And then you can also check that by opening up the file or the print settings, because it will show up differently with the printer. So when you go to print these, again, just make sure there's no border. It's a fit the page. We don't want to expand, we don't want to zoom in, we don't want to fill the page. Make sure it's fit to page, no borders, and then make sure it has the right paper size that you saved it as. Mine again is the 8.5 by 11, and then we are ready to print. Okay, we're going to come down here to my printer. I have an old HP LaserJet. I actually found this used off of Facebook Marketplace, so it only cost me like 30 bucks because I didn't want to invest a lot of money into this. Also, this is the laminator that I use, the one that I mentioned earlier. It isn't my favorite, but it was cheap. It was like 20 bucks, and it does get the job done. And then I have my foils here. I have white and gold because those are the colors we're going to be using today. And then I turned on my laminator and we're just waiting for the ready button to show up. It will flash green when it's ready. And this is the foil that I like, the Mink brand. I did try another like decor foil brand, and I'll show you here. It just does not work very well with my laminator. And then this is the corner cutter that the laminator comes with. So now we are ready to print. So we got my printer down here. Make sure that the papers line up with the left-hand side. Otherwise, you're not going to get the same alignment with each print. And that's just because it has some extra room in there. And then the LaserJet printer actually comes up pretty quick. So here we have printed just the white line art, and we're going to take it over and measure some white foil for it. Okay, so now when you're doing this, it's like a normal foiling process at this point. We're just going to go ahead and measure out the white foil that covers it. I'm going to move my laminator. It's not super hot, so it doesn't hurt to touch it or put it onto soft objects. And then this is the paper cutter that the laminator came with. It's very handy. It's bigger than the other one that I have. And so it helps a lot with these larger prints. But we're just going to go ahead and measure out the white foil and get this ready to go through the laminator. Okay, and once you've got that piece of foil cut out, then just go ahead and lay it down. Make sure that there is no wrinkles, air bubbles, or fur. I do have cats, so sometimes their hair gets stuck underneath it. I'm just gonna want to make sure it's clean and that there's nothing on it. And then I put a piece of printer paper over mine just to protect the lamination foil from the laminator. Some people do stick it through without the paper, but I find that it helps keep the foil flat, especially with these larger prints that you're doing. So we're just going to go ahead and stick that over there. And it also helps hold the foil down because I find if you just stick it in there, it's more likely to move around, especially with the larger piece of foil. I've had it wrinkle up on me pretty bad and jam the laminator, so I highly recommend putting at least a printer paper over it. Now my laminator doesn't get very hot, as I mentioned before in the video, so I do have to stick it through quite a few times. When I did the gold in this video, I only stuck it through like 3 times, so the gold didn't stick very well. But the white, I actually stuck it through like 5 or 6 times, and so the white looks a lot better on the video. But I'll show the difference on that here in a little bit. So you just gotta make sure that you keep sticking it through. And then you can also lift up the printer paper to take a look at what it looks like underneath. Once it starts adhering, you'll see the image come through on the foil, and then the foil usually starts wrinkling up around your image. Okay, so you can see right here, you can kind of see the image coming through, and then the foil starts getting really wrinkly. So I'm just going to put that through a couple more times and it should be good to peel it off. Okay, so we are ready to lift that up. So we're just going to set the printer paper over to the side. I do reuse the same printer paper. And you can see the wings and stuff right there showing up. And then we want to wait until it's cool to the touch. We want to let the foil cool down before we pull it off. Okay, and you can see as we lift it up, the white foil actually sticks really well, especially on this black paper. I love the contrast and I love the black, white, and gold aesthetic that I have for my goddesses here. So this just looks really nice. You can see all the details, and the skull actually adhered pretty well, and that's because we used the black ink, so a lot of that toner was able to stick to the paper, so the foil had more room to adhere to. Okay, so now we are ready to print for the gold. So go ahead and stick that in your printer and make sure it's facing the correct direction, and then push it all the way to the left hand side so we can make sure that it lines up correctly. We want this to print out pretty much the same or as close as possible. Now I did a little mix up here when I printed the gold, so I will show that here. Instead of doing the fit to size, I did shrink to fit, and you'll see here that that created a little bit of an error when I printed out. It was off by a tiny bit, not a whole lot to be noticeable, but not good enough for my Etsy shop. So just make sure you take a look out for that. Yeah, so you can see there the black printed off a little bit. You can see it on her bones and her knees. But this is ready for the gold foil, so we're just going to take it over to the laminator. I have already pre-cut out the gold, so we're just going to set it there. You don't need to cover the whole page, you just need to put it where you want the color to be. And then again, I put the printer paper over the top because I want to make sure that the foil doesn't move around anywhere. And then we're just going to go ahead and stick that through the laminator. I should have stuck this through a lot more, but that's okay. And then I also want to mention that this gold foil is the Decor gold foil, the one I didn't like that much, and I'll show you here why. You can see it looks like it adheres correctly, but once you pull it up, there's a lot of places that it missed. And it gets a little wrinkly. It's not as smooth as the Mink gold foil. So you can see right here it missed a lot. And then this is the Mink gold foil. I did it again. And it adheres a lot better than the Decor gold foil. So just keep that in mind that I prefer the Mink. I find that to be a lot better. Maybe if I had a better laminator, it wouldn't matter so much. But with this one particular, the Mink works best. And then this is the Goddess Crow. I did her as well. You can see the gold looks really well when you put it through like 5 or 6 times. This is what you'll get. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. That is how I do my 2-step gold foil process, so I can get both the gold and the white. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and let me know who you are down in the comments. Since we are a brand new community, I would like to meet each and every one of you. Again, these are on my Etsy shop. They will be released April 15th after 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. And thanks again for watching.